and gentlemen, will you please stand for the national anthem of Hungary?
Meine Damen und Herren, bitte erhebt sich zu Ehren der Nationalhymne von Ungarn.
Congratulations, ladies, and thank you very much.
Meine Damen und Herren, einen herzlichen Applaus für die jungen Damen und vielen Dank.
Right, 20 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, to the start of the senior men K1. 20 minutes.
Ja, meine Damen und Herren, der nächste Start in 20 Minuten, also um Viertel vor, der K1 der Männer über die ganz lange Strecke, über die 30 Kilometer. Kommen Sie, sehen Sie, staunen Sie. Alles im Rahmen der Weltmeisterschaft im Kanu-Marathon hier in Brandenburg, der Havel.
Kova is taking Campos on. Stroke by stroke, he's going past him. And he's gone past him like he's standing still.
What a race! What a race!
Be calm, Gegen. Be calm. The Hungarians are away.
South Africans are away, side by side.
Hungary, there's stress going on. It's a bad view and you feel rough.
This is fantastic! It will be Hungary! It will be Hungary! We will be winning this! Hungary's coming back!
Hungary! It's Hungary all the way!
Hungary!
Oh my word!
Wow!
Oh
What a
my
race!
word!
What a
I
race!
cannot believe that!
Oh.
Every moment of this. Look at that. That's going to be tears. It's going to be laughing. As we talk about that time, Reece Clark running.
Gold medalist Hank McGregor, South Africa!
It's in your hands. You can make it better, same as we can make it better. Love your sport, stick to what you know, and do what you love doing.
Welcome back to the afternoon session in the men's K1 of the World Championships, Marathon Canoe World Championships 2016. It will be a really challenging afternoon now, tough conditions and a fantastic lineup for the start within a couple of minutes. All the big names are there, of course, experienced guys and youngsters all together. And Ivan, you have been looking into it a little bit further.
Yeah, I mean, there's, like you say, all the big names. You got Alonso, McGregor, Romalo, Merchan. They're the three biggest names in there, but you can't rule out, you know, Boros. You got Burkitt, Barry Watkins is an outsider from Italy. I chatted to a few of them. I was lucky enough to get an interview with Jose Romalo from Portugal, and if we can hear from him now, that would be great.
Jose Ramalho, that could be one of the main contesters of the incredible Hank McGregor. Hank McGregor really entered the scene back in 1996 when he won a junior gold medal at the unofficial Junior World Championships in Vaxholm. And then followed up with the gold medal in Valladolid 2003, another in Singapore 2011, and then 2013, 14 and 15. 5 gold medals as a senior. So he will definitely be there, and we'll see how Ramalho is thinking.
Yeah, he's got
now.
that same sort of credibility in the European Championships. But when you get
Exactly
the South Africans mix in and the group changes its dynamics slightly, he hasn't come good quite yet. He's got medals at the World Championships, he's got a bronze medal, but as yet he hasn't made the big time, if you like. And I would love to see him. You know, everyone has their favourites. I like the way he races, I like his attitude, I like his whole approach to the sport, and I would really love to see him come good today.
So let's hear what he has to say.
We're not quite getting to the interview yet. Here we go, sorry. No, we're onto the course map. So this is the course for the afternoon. First lap of 8. Go up to the 2,000 metre mark, straight up a regatta course, round the top turn, straight back to the finish. No portage on lap 1. And then we go into 7 laps Well, they go up to the 2K, all the way back, and Portage just in front of us. Along the pontoon, past the grandstand, back onto the exit pontoon. Total distance of about 200 metres, and then 7 times for that. Then up to the 500 metres and back. Personally, I'm hoping that there's a good few people still in contention for that last lap.
Because that will be fantastic.
It's going to be a good race. I mean, it's quite hard. You've got the regular contenders in there. Alonso, McGregor, Boros, who was so good last year, silver medal. Romalo, who's always there. Merchan, who had an absolute shocker last year. He swam twice. And yeah, that's just not like him. Well, I say it's not like him. He has swum at the World Championships before. So, yeah, maybe the pressure gets to everyone, even the experienced athletes.
Yeah, he is also very experienced. He had a silver medal already in Perth back in 2005, and a bronze in Tremolat 2006, and then he won 2 gold medals in Györ 2007 and Thun 2008, and that's only in K1.
He's 40 years old, Stefan. You know, they're lucky, I guess, in Spain that you can do the sport almost semi-professionally. You can get enough reward from it to make it worth doing, but at some stage, surely, the age thing has to kick in a little bit. But not just the physical age. Once you've done enough of these competitions, where does the motivation come from? That's a question I'd like to ask McGregor, as well as, you know, Merchan and maybe even Alonso. You know, how do you keep that level of motivation?
Alonso, who had a gold medal back in Rome 2012, and also quite a lot of medals in K2. And then Adrian Boros, the youngster in this group, born in 1990 and had a silver medal yesterday, not yesterday, but last year, and he's very eager to have a gold here.
And
today.
If you remember last year, it was Boros and Alonso who were away and clear. It was only because they messed up the turn. They thought it was going to go to the short lap already, and it wasn't. It was the long lap, and it was McGregor, that fell into McGregor's hands, and he caught up. Maybe, if some people argue he might not have caught up, I'm sure there's plenty of South Africans out there who would argue that he would have caught up anyway.
And Hank McGregor this year have had a tremendous season, lots of good result, and he says he's in a very, very good shape. And then we have Ramalho, who won the European Championships. And let's try once again to listen to his interview.
Hello, I'm José Ramalho from Portugal, and I will race in K1 Man Senior. This race, it's I think most of the problems we'll have here. It's the wind. I think everybody think on the wind on the day what will be like, but it's we don't have any trouble at all because it's not a river, no currents, and it's a flat water race, so it will be a normal race with a big portage. And only thing that is different from the others is that we have the final portage. We have 1,000 meters to the finish line, and that will be hard. so hope win the best way.
So anything could happen at the last 1,000 meters after the final decisive portage. I think we'll see quite a big group during this race.
Maybe, I was going to say, one of Romalo's strengths is that if he does get away on his own, he's very prepared to finish the job on his own. He did that back in Bohine at the European Championships. I mean, he wasn't well after it, but he committed to it, and he's not scared to go. He runs very well. But then McGregor runs very well also.
Absolutely, and he is also good on getting away on his own. And we have some other people there that have been forever in this sport, and one of them is the Aussie guy Mike Leverett. He did also the Masters this year, and let's hear what he has to say.
I started marathons in 97. In K2 I started, and then in 99 was my first K1 race. Masters is a good warm-up, and because it's a little bit shorter than the actual open race, it's a good race to do. I've been second and third a couple of times, and third in a couple of World Cup races as well. I hope I get top 10. I'm getting a little bit old now, so I haven't got the speed that I used to, but I'd like to get top 10.
So there they are, all of them, Ivan Alonso, Hank McGregor, Adrian Boros, José Ramalho, Emilio Merchan, and also Adam Jakob, that all have had a lot of good results over the years. And it is a big start group, and some of the guys are here just to learn, as we say all the time, and one of them is Shuhei Goto from Japan. We have met also him.
I'm Shuhei Goto, K1 man. I was training all summer, every day. This is my road to Tokyo 2020. I will win.
So an ambitious paddler there. I mean, to be placed in a race with the likes of Alonso, McGregor, Boros, Ramalho, Merchan, this is deep water to be in on day one. This is going to be some competition, but you know, just be part of this is quite phenomenal, really. There's going to be a lot of excitement out there this afternoon.
What do you think of the conditions? We have suffered from very rainy weather this morning, but it seems to clear up a bit.
The rain's gone. The waves coming pretty much straight down the course now. We're seeing as the guys warm up, some of the waves are going over the front deck of the boats. That will play a part, I think, but not enough to sink anyone and not enough really to trouble anyone. So,
do you think anyone has any advantage or rough water here?
Well, you've got Hank McGregor, who's a surf ski paddler, Joop van Bakkel, who's also a surf ski paddler. I'm not sure if Andy Burkett has done surf ski as well. I'm guessing he has. He's South African.
Absolutely so. And they are used to river racing as well. So
Ramalho, I know he does a bit on the ocean. I don't know. You know, the different boats, different game. There's so much to consider here. But I think what you've got to consider mostly is habit. Some of these guys are habitually in that front group, and for anyone to break in, I mean, I know the Irish are talking up Barry Watkins, and he's a great paddler, probably out here, maybe the fastest 500-metre paddler on the course today. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that, but to get into that group where the other guys know they belong there, and they know that you don't, it's such a hard thing to do, you know. You get pushed around by these guys. We watched Ivan Balboa yesterday doing a great job in the under-23s, but you put him against Merchan or Alonso, you don't, or McGregor, you don't push those guys around. And so it's so hard to break into the front group of this race for a newcomer or somebody who isn't there regularly. Habit plays a big part in the result of these races.
Habit, strength, self-confidence, and it all comes down to experience and good training. So now it starts within a couple of minutes, so I think we'll join them now warming up. And we have all the big names in the middle. Boat number 565 is Andy Burkett from South Africa, the winner of the World Cup previously this year, the World Cup in Portugal. 566 on the lane beside him is Ivan Alonso, and we all know his capacity, Ivan Alonso from Spain. 567 is Hank McGregor, South Africa, who have had a tremendous season this year, winning the Berg Marathon, winning the Dusi, and done lots of surf ski paddling also, winning the Molokai and lots of other races. Beside him, Adrian Boros, Hungary, that also have been in South Africa doing quite a lot of racing and also training, joining in with Burkett and McGregor there. And 569 is José Ramalho from Portugal, the winner of the European Championships, also doing quite a lot of long distance races in different categories over this year. And then 570 is Adam Jakub, Czech Republic. Also him an experienced paddler with lots of good results over the years. Kate Mole is 571, and then 574 Emilio Merchan. Emilio Merchan that have done so much over the years in both K1 and K2. So watch for 565, 566, 67, 68, 69, 70 and 74. They will all be there in the front group. But in the first stage of the race, we used to have also paddlers from Italy, France, and
the French. I think the French are mainly concentrating on the K2. I'm not sure if we got many French. I think they've opted for the K2 race. They were better at that, the Europeans. Andy Burkett's the one who set off so fast last year in Giro.
Yeah. And Matteo Graziani from Italy used all.
Yeah, he's often in there for the first few laps, a couple of laps.
Like Alfredo Faria from Portugal.
Yeah, it's going to be a big group. It's it's going to be so interesting. You can't really tell how it's going to pan out. I say Merchan swam last time. Andy Burkett swam a couple of times in their selection race this year. There's a lot can happen out there. They're still milling about before the start. Got Josh Kippin from Australia there. He's been to a couple of Worlds already. Australian national champion. He was third on the, third fastest time in the time trial at Berg and finished 8th overall. Open K1 winner at the Avon Descent and a very strong runner. Did a bit of training at our club, Elmbridge Canoe Club in the UK a few years back. He belongs to the Ascot Kayak Club in Western Australia and works as an oil and gas engineer for Chevron. So he's got a real job as well as this, which isn't always a bad thing.
And we have some very, very experienced guys as well. I can see Eric Verduct on with about 5:52 here on the left-hand side of the course from Belgium. Born 1967, actually.
Experienced, but it seems, Stefan, he's not a fast learner. He's still out there. I mean, we used to race him. He competed in the very first World Championships back in 1988 in Nottingham, and I think of all the paddlers, he competed in consecutive World Championships for longer than anyone. I'm not sure when he broke his run of World Championships, but now he seems to be having a bit of second wind and coming back for more. Well, I can't see it going his way, the race today.
And beside him is Filippo Vincenzi from Italy, also a guy that we are used to see in the top group, at least in the first stages of the race.
It's very frustrating for the guys who know they should be there in the front group of the race, to have those sort of extra people dipping in and dipping out of the front group who don't really know how to behave often in that group. And it's the outliers, the type of guys who run into your paddles or don't move over when they should move over. They create a tension and a frustration in the group, which is why eventually the big guns squeeze them out and they don't want them interfering anymore. So it's very hard to stay in this top groups when you're a newcomer.
It will be very interesting to see how this experienced top guy are choosing to run this race. Following what you just said, it should be beneficial for them to just go for it and set up the speed. And we know that Hank McGregor can do that. He did it in Singapore, where he just went and took the lead with many seconds I think it was about a minute before anyone else, just after half the race.
And Romalo won the European Championships by about a minute
Exactly.
last year. There's plenty of guys with a lot of confidence out there. But there's also a lot of guys who respect the abilities of some of their competitors.
Hank McGregor is the guy in the light green shirt, 567 there. Long sleeves, light green, lightning, his South African green dress. Beside him, Ivan Alonso, and on the inner side there, Andy Burkett. Outside, Ramalho. And it's tensed out there now.
Josh Kippin there, 5.82 in shot. Somebody who can't count has been asked to get in the right position. Could be Korea or Portugal. It's very hard to relax out there, even though you know that there's somebody not in the line yet. Alonso looks very edgy.
So does Boros there between Hank McGregor and Ramalho.
Keith Moore from Great Britain, also a very strong starter in the blue boat. 5.83.
So ready any second now.
Here we go. Still one more to come into line. To the right of Merchan, that's Mike Dostal from the USA. USA obviously not big on counting either. And this is tense. Away they go. Keith Moore, great start in the middle there in the blue boat.
Hank McGregor really,
also a good start.
Really good start, and it's Hank McGregor taking the lead out there, and it's Boros on his wash, and it's Burkett that is squeezing Alonso a little bit there now. Good team racing already from the start from Burkett and Hank McGregor.
Keith Moore's going to come across to Hank McGregor's side. Romalo's going to end up in the V.
And Merchan is going really, really fast out there and trying to catch the wash of the flying Keith Mole. Hank McGregor, it's Keith Mole actually.
It's Keith Mole leading this. That's Barry Watkins to his right. We talked about him being fast over 500 metres. It's Hank McGregor. Merchan's there. Burkett's there. The two Portuguese, both there. Alonso's still there. Josh Kippin for Australia, 5.82 on the far side. He's done unbelievably well to be up there at this stage. And there's Barry Watkins, 5.86 on the far side from Germany, Daniel Berger. Hard to tell from the camera angle whether they're actually up on the main leaders there, but it's Barry Watkins.
And Jos Sakrajcek from Slovenia is there as well, 5.87.
But I think it's Barry Watkins, half a length up at least on the German to his right. And paddling very, very strongly. Here's the other leaders. There's fighting for Watkins' side there. South African, that's Burkett holding it at the moment from Faria of Portugal. Got a feeling there's another group somewhere. Doesn't seem enough people at the front there. It's getting very tense.
Ramalho
Burkett goes past.
And there they are, all of them.
McGregor, looking relaxed.
Very relaxed.
There. Alonso, he's made it to safety as well. Boros coming up on the outside in the white boat. He looks safe. But it's Faria from Portugal, 5.63. Taking the lead now. Burkett's almost unrecognisable without the big hair.
Yeah. Paddling relaxed there, both Burkett and Hank McGregor. Hank looking really relaxed there. Riding the wash of his teammate.
You've got three boats almost in a line. The washes behind are huge at this stage. It's very unusual to see two people going side by side like this.
And Boros is very well positioned there, and here comes
Finally.
Merchan. Merchan on the far outside, boat number 574 there.
Finally, Faria pushes Burkett into the V. Boros up on the right-hand side. He's safe. Just knocked Alonso back. McGregor also had to dip back one place there. Merchan looking very strong on the outside, but it's Barry Watkins for now, and along comes Faria. Faria's going to take the lead. 5.55. That's Erwin Holpert from Serbia.
And now,
nobody even mentioned him in the build-up, but he's there too. Boros is going to take out Barry Watkins, put him into the V. That knocks Burkett back. So Burkett has to drop back.
Merchan perfectly positioned on the wash of Boros. But Faria still is continue to do the hard work here now, setting the speed.
Italy, 5.53. Vincenzi, he's often there for the first lap. Boros so far untroubled on the outside. One of these boats must be
and Alonso's
Ramalho,
back there.
Yes,
Ramalho, yeah.
So he's got Alonso and Vincenzi. Vincenzi takes the lead. Ramalho beautifully up to squeeze Alonso back into the V. Burkett trying to take a wash that isn't his, and that's ended not well for him. He's had to bungle back down through the field again. But Ramalho now looking safe. Boros about to take Faria. Faria's having none of it. So Boros has to wait. Second wash out. It's Alonso that's got the best of this at the moment. Ramalho looking very safe there. Faria maybe working a little too hard. On this side from Norway is Morten Mindy. Up on the far side goes Barry Watkins again. This isn't going to settle for a long time yet. Faria again takes the lead, only to hold Boros off. Faria left with no choice. Ramalho will want to go around Vincenzi. Alonso feels pressured in the back there. He's going to try and move up, but no, Vincenzi's going to squeeze him back.
And here comes Ramalho. Will we see a good teamwork here between Faria and Ramalho?
To take him on. It didn't pan out.
Burkett is not satisfied with his position there. Trying to challenge Ramalho a bit. Now that Ramalho might take over from Faria.
I think Ramalho feels safe there. The only reason Ramalho will go is if Burkett moves up on his outside. Same for Boros on the far side. If Merchan moves up, Boros will have to go. But for now, Faria is in charge. And McGregor tucked safely. 2 V washes back from the front. He's happy there, I would think. Alonso side by side with him. I think we see Mike Leverett up there, 5.84. Mike Leverett's up in the front group. I don't think we've seen him in the front group for a while. Barry Watkins, who showed so well early on, he's been pinballed back to the back of that group, 5.77. Bit of inexperience there. Joop van Bakkel back there as well. All the players still in this. What a great race so far. They're coming up for the first turn. And it's Faria.
It's Ramalho, and it's Boros, and it's Burkett, and it's Vincenza. And it's Merchan on the outside there. And it's McGregor in the middle, and Alonso, and Adam Jakob.
So
Morten Minde is there.
Through comes Barry Watkins again. He's trying to push Adam Jakob out from his wash. He's coming around the out. Jacob Adams coming around the outside. He's not going to be strong enough to take on Boros or Merchan. Merchan won't have any of that. He'll move slightly to the right to hold him off. And wasted effort from Jacob Adam there. People on the left untroubled through that.
Mike Leverett tried as well to challenge Merchan there.
McGregor looking safe. Alonso looking safe.
Very relaxed paddling of these two.
Also safe at the moment.
Yeah. Both Alonso and McGregor are just resting down there, right in the washes.
And Burkett squeezed out. That's going to change the shape. That won't help McGregor any there. He'll be squeezed back probably 2 places in the group. Alonso will get round the turn ahead of McGregor. But it's Faria leaving space for Ramalho on his inside.
And Merchan managed that situation perfectly well. He's now up there among the top.
Around this corner, I'd expect to see Merchan try and take Boros on. With it calming down slightly, Boros might allow him to come round. A little bit of break up in the picture, hopefully that will come back soon. It looks like we've just lost the camera at the top there, a little bit unfortunate. We'll get back to it. Head-on shot. It's going to be hard to tell who's doing what from here. Here we go again. So, still Faria. Second Hungarian out there with Morten Mendy from Norway. So, Vincenzi doing well. Romalo looking very, very good. Boros also looking comfortable. Hank McGregor relaxed in his position, as is Alonso. They're in the same position either side of the group. Jacob Adam, 570, looking very strong on the outside of the group. Barry Watkins tucked in now. Mike Leverett by the side of him. Joop van Bakkel, and on the far side, Morten Mendy and the second Hungarian, Gabor Aronzi.
And Hank McGregor hasn't done anything yet. His shoulders down, his arms is not stretched. He's just in the middle there, resting, looking for opportunities and riding washes.
Boros there, just dropped back, not sure what happened to him. Maybe he got his paddles clipped by Vincenzi. Surprised there that Merchan didn't take that opportunity to move up. And this looks like the second group. Keith Moore there. Got Argentina, Germany, and the Czech Republic. And that's the view they've got in front of them. Keith Moore, who looked so strong over the first 200 metres, probably got caught in the melee just a little bit. But Faria just continuing to do the work. Maybe he and Romano have a plan between them. It seems unusual to do this much work at this stage of the race.
I think they used to have. They used to work very well together, these two guys. We have seen that before. Boris was looking around, maybe for his teammate, Gabor Aranyosi, that we haven't seen before.
To the left.
Yeah, we have no knowledge, further knowledge of him. So often in Hungary, they come up with new names all the times, and all of them are good.
So there's the front group, still huge at this stage. The wind coming across from a slight angle again now, coming around to the 45 degrees that it was this morning. From their left-hand side as you see it now. They're about 500 metres now from, 1,000 metres rather, from us in the finish, at the finish line.
And it's no Portages' first lap. These 37 paddlers will do a one more full long lap before it's time to Portage. This is not the leading group, it's somewhere down below.
That whole group there is in touch. It looks like about 12, maybe more people there. They're all in contention. Second Italian, 564, Matteo Graziani, just struggling to keep in contact with that group. Mike Leverett, 584, very impressed by him.
Absolutely so, and impressed also by Alonso and Hank McGregor. They are not doing any work at all, just riding the washes
Jacob
in the middle
Adam,
there.
having a little, maybe Barry Watkins just pushed up a little. There goes Merchan, he's going to take on Boros. Boros really should let him have this.
Yes. Why
Boros
is he
should back
fighting
off
now?
now. You do not want to end up in a collision with Merchan. You really don't.
And Faria is also increasing the speed. Why?
Boros should have backed out of that much, much sooner. Through comes the next one, and Merchan's going to let him have it because it's Alonso and the Spaniards and the Portuguese now.
They will work together.
And they will have raced together many, many times. That was good work from the Spaniards.
Maybe this was the aim of all this, that Portugal and Spain have managed to create the good positions for themselves there. Faria in top, Ramalho on his left side, Alonso on the right side, and Merchan in the middle
Be
wash now.
interesting to see what that left McGregor with. We can see Jacob Adams' boat there on the outside, Burkett on the far side in the light blue boat, Adam in the dark blue boat.
I don't think they care, actually. It's so early in the race.
McGregor
and
looks like from here that he's right in the centre of the group.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
So he's come out of that very, very well. He's still safe.
So confident. We have seen him doing this so many times in the middle of these big groups, managing it perfectly well. Used to rough conditions, rough water conditions. It's not a problem for him.
Mike Leverett suffered on that. He's moved out to the left to find some clean water, to try and make contact with that group again. His compatriot, Josh Kippin, just behind him in the yellow shirt. But Faria continues to lead.
So far, it must be one of Mike Leverett's best races within a 10-year period or so.
I think even if he gets to the end of this group in that race, on this lap, if he can make that, it's been a success for him.
Absolutely so. He was racing in the Masters race in the age group 45 to 50, actually competing with Hank McGregor's father, who managed to go into that age group at his age of 65.
McGregor, Merchan, Alonso, Romalo. Can't see Boros at the moment. He's back just behind Jacob Adam there, still tucked in a V-wash. He's on the same wash as McGregor next to him. They've both got the second V. It's not quite as nice as the first one, but you're very safe there. You're in the middle of the group. You can cover pretty much everything from there. So they're both comfortable. And the group just thinning out a bit. It's not as wide as it was. It's getting longer and thinner, which suggests that some people are tiring a little bit. They're just right by us now at the finish tower. And this turn's going to be a little bit tight for some of them.
And it's still Faria. I wonder how long the plan is to let him keep up the speed. It's Faria, it's Ramalho, and Burkett is a good position there. I think Burkett needs to do something now.
On the turn by the Portuguese. He'll have to fall back onto McGregor. He'll have to back off just one position. Burkett falls back now. McGregor just backs off. There's no stress for either of them.
Burkett managed that
just
perfectly
leaves him
well.
Some room. Jacob Adam going well
Here
around the
comes
outside.
Ramalho, perfectly managed, and also very well done on Burkett there.
Takes over the lead now.
And Burkett is on his wash still. It's wonderfully done of Burkett. And watch McGregor. He's just
move immediately
catching
covered
his wash
by Merchan. Merchan's the one who's done well from that. Alonso's going to go around Faria. Faria will be pushed back onto Merchan, who's going to have to come round Burkett. So here comes Merchan around the outside. He's going to have to come up Burkett's side. McGregor really getting left with what's handed to him at the moment, but he's not stressed over that.
It was the first little contest between Boros and McGregor there, when they competed for a better position in that group.
McGregor came out on top, but Boros has still got a nice wash there on the tail of Faria and between McGregor and Merchan. So he's safe still. Burkett did well through that to end up on the inside.
And Ramalho, perfectly well done of both of them.
Jacob Adam also doing better than we've seen him do for quite a few years now. Faria tucked in the front V. Alonso looking very good. He didn't do so well at the Europeans this year. Ended up outside the front group. Faria also looking very good there. And no one's forcing this. No one's coming around the outside, which suggests that Romalo is really pressing on the pace now. That lead group of 6 or 7 is making good distance on the group behind them. And Romalo is stretching them. Those that train with Romalo at home say he's in great form for pressing on.
And it's also Andreas Heilinger from Germany who is joining the top group. 5:73, and Andreas Heilinger, Germany, in the end of the top group. Surprising.
Up goes Burkett. Faria held Merchan off there. Jacob Adam tried to come around the outside, didn't make it all the way though. Romalo held him, and Faria's going to allow Merchan to squeeze him into the V. Faria doing an incredible race so far. Here comes McGregor now, and it's two South Africans. Made it to the front.
It was very easy for McGregor doing this. Merchan saw the opportunity to get into the middle wash and took that opportunity immediately, letting McGregor on.
Alonso is going to take on Jacob Adam, who will move out to the right to hold him off slightly.
This will force Ramalho maybe to go to the top again.
He's moved away from Andy Burkett, just a fraction. And on this side, Faria, he's going to take on McGregor. There goes Alonso again. Adam can't hold him off this time. Romalo will be able to, but that will leave Romalo leading again.
See how McGregor managed this.
And through comes Boros now on that right-hand side. All the action on the right-hand side. Romalo gets no choice but to lead. Alonso the same. He could end up at the front of this. Burkett being left with the V, and McGregor is probably going to come round Romalo and squeeze his teammate out from the V-wash. No, he's in no hurry to do that. This is classic racing.
And we will see this kind of shifting positions all the way through now. There's too good paddlers to be four in the diamond at this early stage.
It's not going to settle to a comfortable group for a long time yet.
Here comes
they
McGregor.
All push up. Each time they push up,
I think it's only...
There's three people in a row because nobody wants to let the other lead because they'll get squashed out. If Alonso takes the lead, Romalo will be squashed out by McGregor. Boros comes up. So he wants to come round Alonso. So Alonso has to squeeze up. It's just continual pressure. The two South Africans sharing a joke there. They know what the rules are here. It's all very organised, but there are rules. Here goes McGregor. This looks like a serious attempt to stretch this group. Romalo matching him fairly comfortably.
Burkett as well.
Burkett goes with him.
Maybe
very impressive from Burkett there. That wasn't his wash by right at all, but he was the one who followed the move. Be very interested to see who's tucked in the V behind McGregor here. Should be one of the Spaniards.
And they were just chatting just before McGregor made his move. Probably they agreed on what to do.
Boros come out of that very well.
Yes.
Boros on the V, Faria and Alonso.
Where is Merchan?
Merchan, that's the nose of his white boat. He's level pegging with Jacob Adam from the Czech Republic.
And still Faria is within the group. Doing most of the work at the first long lap. Faria is still there.
So very, very impressive. The first portage, if it stays like this, is going to be very interesting. Very impressed by Burkett through that last move. He took what he wanted.
And Andreas Heilinger is still within the group, the German. It's the only surprise so far. All the big names are there, together with Adam Jakob and Faria and Andreas Heilinger. Good for Germany to have someone here in the top group.
Got a couple of, we wouldn't expect Jacob Adam to be in that front group at this stage. I'm not sure we'd expect Faria to still be there, and certainly Heilinger. We never named in our pre-race commentary. We didn't have him down. Still a long way to go, but just to be in this group is quite something at this stage.
The Heilinger is a good 1,000-meter paddler, so he has the speed to do it. We'll see if he has the endurance as well.
Fairly impressive chasing group there. Barry Watkins.
And also Morten Minde, quite experienced. Nice to have him back in the top group.
Joop van Bakkel also. Mike Leverett still hanging on in that second group.
Yes.
They're pretty much approaching the top turn. Merchan, I don't think would choose to be that far back down the group. So South Africa looking strong at this stage.
Very much so. It's just 50 meters now to the turn up there. Faria is not good position there on the inner side of the two South Africans. Approaching the turn. Faria should do something now. You're probably choosing to just drop off a bit there.
McGregor left room for two on the inside. Not on the second buoy. I don't think he will. Faria has to drop back. He'll push Merchan back as well. It'll be Heilinger who suffers from this. Everyone else getting around in very organised fashion. Faria just about squeezing through on the inside of the two South Africans. Romalo looking good. And McGregor looks across. He wants a new leader. It's going to be Romalo. McGregor pretty much chose, well, he did choose exactly what Washi wanted there.
He maneuvered to position where he could choose if Alonso or Amalio would take the lead. He could choose the middle wash there. McGregor.
So McGregor looking very strong at this stage.
Very much so, and he have had an incredible season so far, winning almost everything he has participated in.
Jacob Adams still toughing it out in there. Mike Leverett in the background, he's closing down on this group. That is phenomenal. So Ivan Alonso, it's the first time we've seen him at the front really. For any sustained period.
Also Ramalho in the second group there with Leverett. Did you recognize that?
I didn't realise that. No, I thought Ramalho was at the front still. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We'll see at the next shot.
Yep. So Keith Morrell, Josh Kippen in that chase group. With Denmark and Czech Republic. So we've got Romalo to the left of Alonso.
Yeah.
Boros, Pereira on the outside, Jacob Adam, Andy Burkett in the blue, Hank McGregor sat pretty in the V-wash for now, very relaxed back there. No one looking too troubled at the moment. I don't think Alonso's really striding out, you can tell because the group's getting bigger. The Italians back in contact.
It's 700 meters now to the first portage.
The really good runners on the portage. Well, they're all good runners on the portage really, but Romalo, Boros and McGregor would be my three favourites for the running. Alonso positioned well at the front. It's been a couple of years back in Rome when he was the world champion. K1 and K2 back then. Merchan not really having an effect on this race in these first two laps. Barry Watkins back in touch, 587. Also back in touch, that's Jost Zakrusek from Slovenia. So everyone's back in, Mike Leverett in the orange at the back of the group. So the group is huge once again. Joop van Bakkel back in there. So pace has been slowed by Ivan Alonso. Second Hungarian, 5.78. Gabor Aronyossi, he's back in.
We've seen that many times. Ivan Alonso in top, slowing down a little bit. He's so confident that he will be strong in at the far end of the race. So he's not willing to put up a high speed. No one is currently.
And to be fair, if I was Ivan Alonso and you have Hank McGregor on your V-wash, that's when I would go my slowest as the leader. The last thing I need is to be working hard when my main competitor has got the best position. So it's well thought through. There's no point in him trawling out a 3 minute 50,000 if Hank McGregor's well protected at the time. It's only worth doing work if you're going to damage somebody. And here comes Hank McGregor, he's going to squeeze through.
He want a good position for himself at the portage.
There you can see that Alonso isn't short of speed. Boros is taking on McGregor. McGregor's going to hold him off. And Alonso, I'm impressed by Alonso there. McGregor and Boros are going at it. Ramalho and Burkett are going at it on the far side. Boros is going to, so tight for getting around McGregor.
No, it's racing for
This becomes a matter of pride at this stage. They've all committed to this. And it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. Ramalho's beaten Burkett on the left. That job's done. Merchan's suffering. All those back paddlers who spent so much time catching up, they've been caught for speed. And Boros still, he's just had his paddles clipped. And that's the end of that race. McGregor took that one, but the winner from that for me was Alonso.
Absolutely so. And Ramalho and Burkett made very, very well there. I think Burkett made a wise decision just hanging on Ramalho's wash. He wasn't really doing any work.
McGregor and Boros are having a personal battle back there.
Yes.
They both fought for the same V, and it looked like Boros won that battle. It was a side-by-side confrontation, and Boros took it. You very rarely see contact among guys of this quality, but Boros took that from McGregor, and McGregor will know that. That'll be logged by both of them. That's 1 to Boros.
And now McGregor is trying once again to create a little bit better position for himself into the portage.
Marlowe is going to lead into the portage.
It's Burkett.
Burkett looking good on the
Very
right.
good.
There's Boros on the left. Alonso. So Ramalho. One of the best runners in the sport. He's up and away first.
And we saw that in the World Cup in Portugal as well.
McGregor,
Ramalho and Burkett side by side.
So interesting that Ramalho would come through a drink station on lap 1. Burkett running well. Ramalho running well. Alonso safe. McGregor also taking a drink. He looks safe. Boros looks safe. Merchan does not look safe. Jacob Adams in between him and the main group still. So 2 South Africans, Portugal and Spain at this stage. These are the guys who look comfortable. Hungary, Boros just hanging on in there. Merchan looking a little stressed. Faria, he's troubled at the back of that group. Jacob Adam, he's got water in that boat, I think, at the back of that boat. Boros away. McGregor, he's going to be away. Not as far forward as he'd like, I'm sure. Alonso looking good. Ramalho, very tidy, but Burkett matched him stride for stride on the run. But Ramalho came in for a drink and still came out first. So Ramalho, Burkett, Alonso, McGregor, Boros, Jacob Adam, Merchan, Vincenzi, Faria, Heilinger, Mindy, Aronyossi. But that's not the picture as they came out of the portage. It's just 2, 2, then 3. So Ramalho leads from Burkett, from Alonso, from Boros, then McGregor. There goes Burkett. Ramalho taking a drink, Boros moving up. Alonso will move back behind Boros and up into the V. And that will hold McGregor out of any of the good positions, at least for the time being. And Merchan has done, I think, incredibly well to be in touch with that group. He's going to move up with Jacob Adam to get a V behind his compatriot Alonso.
Burkett looks extremely strong.
Very impressed by Burkett so far. Yeah, he's always impressed and they've always talked him up, but he's never yet supplied a good result at a major championship. This is the best I've seen from him.
He did incredibly well at the World Cup in Portugal as well. Previously this year, that's what we have seen of him in Europe. And he has also done a lot of river racing back in South Africa.
So throughout that, the main one we lost, I think, was Faria, who was looking so strong in the early stages. Behind this group, it's just the Norwegian Morten Mind on his own, then a group of 4 or 5. Vincenzi struggling at the back of that group of 4 or 5.
Jacob Adam is still there, making a move now.
A little bit of a fight for position there. Alonso taking on Jacob Adam. Nobody wants second pickings of the washes. Jacob Adam now maybe showing as one of the weaker paddlers in this group. He only ever gets what's left. Boros taking on from Romalo, from Alonso, and tucked in the back is Andy Burkett.
Just after him is Hank McGregor.
Hank McGregor tucked in the V behind Alonso. Comfortable position to be, and he's holding off Merchan from that next best wash. Meanwhile, a few tailenders, Ukraine there through the portage.
This portage really made a difference. The group, very big group, is split up quite extensively.
And it's the confident guys who come out of that well.
Yeah.
You saw Alonso in charge, he came out well. Yeah, there's Romalo came out well, McGregor, Burkett's impressing so far.
Yeah.
Merchan still there.
McGregor was so cool in the end of the portage. He couldn't find a good position to put in his boat. It was competitors everywhere. He just stood there waiting and kept cool and jumped in. No panic there.
What you want from a portage. None of them wanted to break away there.
No.
They all wanted to stay with the front group, but not end up with a breakaway that they had to sustain. So they're all very cautious. No one ran too hard. A couple of the big players came in for a drink there. And now it's going to slow down slightly. Merchan coming around the outside of the group. He's going to want to get a better wash. I think Romalo will let him come all the way around the outside. And if they can see where McGregor is, that would suit all of them if Merchan came around the outside of Romalo now. They need to have a look back. Oh, there's a boat without a paddler. And unfortunately, that's our Japanese athlete. He's put the boat in, let go of it. And a little bit embarrassing that, but these things happen. I believe the same happened to Lee McGregor in the Masters race. He let go of his boat and the wind blew that away. Just had a bit of inside information there, which might explain why Jacob Adam's going so well. He's training in South Africa at the moment with Andy Burkett. Yeah. So that might explain his resurgence of form. Back with a group that are progressive again. So hard if you're the only one in your country that's really pressing on. To get in a group, a training group that's pushing forward rather than just trying to sustain your level is a much nicer environment to work in. So that's obviously suiting Jacob Adam.
He finished 7th last year, he have been there.
His previous results, 7th always looks good on paper, but he's always come from behind.
Yeah.
This time he's at the front.
Yeah.
And even if he comes 7th here, that's a better result for me than a 7th from behind.
There's many of these paddlers, they are training in South Africa over the winter. Boros have done it this year. Adam Jacob.
So as soon as Alonso gets to the front, the group reforms. Alonso.
Here comes Morten Minde.
Very confident. Morten Minder coming around the side. He's going to take on Jacob Adam, it looks like.
And Merchan approaching on the right-hand side there.
Going up with Morten Minder is the Hungarian Aron Yossi. Joop van Bakkel back in touch with the leaders again. For these front guys, for your Alonso's, for your Romalos, your Merchans, the guys that have just rejoined the group, they can rejoin and they can fall off again, they can rejoin. They really don't enter the consciousness of the guys at the front. They're just a minor distraction. They're allowed to join, and then when something happens, they'll be off the back of the group. Japanese man reunited with his boat, and he sets off. His drink, frankly, looks disgusting. McGregor maybe a little bit further back down the group than he'd be happy with, but he's comfortable. There's no stress for him. Same goes for Burkitt, I think.
Remember
the
last
line's drawn there behind Burkitt. Everyone else can come and go as they please. But up to Burkitt. Here goes McGregor, just trying to push up just a little.
Remember last year when McGregor got something in his pump and he had to stop and fix it because his bowl was full of water, and managed to get close anyway. He's not a man of panic. He knows his capacity and managed to race this very well.
So Morten Mind comes around, he's going to try taking on Jacob Adam, but Adam pretty much closes the door on him straight away. Can expect the same, I think, maybe on the left soon. Hank McGregor's forced his way up one notch in that group as well. He's on the wash that Morten Minder pretty much has a right to. I'm very surprised that Morten Minder is allowing that to happen. There goes Jacob Adam. Alonso's having none of it. Now Merchan really needs to come round the outside of Romalo because...
And another contest there. McGregor and Boros.
McGregor is back on equal terms with Boros. Bad move there by Romalo. He's taken the pull with McGregor in the V. Ideally, he should have let Merchan around his outside, left Alonso on the front, and pinballed McGregor back one place down the group. McGregor's sitting pretty now while Romalo's doing the work, and that, to me, is wasted work from Romalo.
I don't think he really recognized the situation behind him. He was just trying to get a good position for himself into the turn.
Burkitt suffering on the inside of this turn.
So does
Merchan. Also just enough room for him. For the moment, McGregor just has to drop back behind Alonso, but as soon as they're around the turn, Merchan will move up to the side of Romalo, and McGregor will move up to the tail of Romalo, and they're the main four. Burkitt in a very difficult position now. He wants to cut out Merchan, but he knows that will disadvantage his teammate. Merchan, I think, would let him through at this stage. But Burkitt, back in Jura last year, also sat on that second washout for so long in the early stages, and then blew badly in the second half of the race. It's just a little bit harder out there. So it's Burkitt and Adam, training partners back in South Africa, both got the dog end of this at the moment. McGregor's got the best of it. And two Spaniards, safety at least at the front, and Boros still there, as is Morten Mind. He's found a more comfortable position in the group at last. And Faria has rejoined that group. He's struggling on the Portages, apparently because he had a car accident a few months ago. Keith Moore there from Great Britain. With Josh Kippin from Australia. 5.64 Matteo Graziani and 5.58 Nikolai Shervov from Russia. They're all kind of stuck in no man's land. They need to work together a little bit better than that. But sped up at the front, Andy Burkett trying to come round. Merchan won't let him do that because it's Alonso in the V.
For the first time, Merchan in the lead.
He was very strong, the Europeans.
He was
second.
second.
Strongest we've seen him for a long time.
Yeah, he was second there. Ramalho won.
The German still tagging on the back of that group.
Heilinger.
Some very partisan comments coming in from the South Africans. Saying how Hank is the master of conserving himself. Well, he's up against an awful lot of other people who are also masters of conserving themselves. There's no fools in this race, and they're all going to do their best. Still at this stage, everything to play for. Certainly, Hank hasn't shown himself at the front very much. But Alonso, when he's been at the front, has done virtually zero damage, zero work, so he hasn't done much either. Boros, at the moment, hasn't shown much.
Nothing at all, actually.
He and McGregor have had a couple of fairly tense exchanges. Morten Mind out on the right there on his own. Maybe he's not one of the guys who are into the conservation. But the group is huge. On the left, got Joop van Bakkel, he's coming wide. Try and regain contact. Barry Watkins in that group of four going wide as well.
The speed is down now. The same as happened when Alonso was in the lead.
The two Spaniards very happy to have a big group. They're really not fazed by that at all. Some people are more comfortable than others with a group this size. But there's so much experience in those front six that none of them really are stressed by the hangers-on that come and go from the back of this group.
It's also a bit on what you're used to from the home waters. And Spain is a great marathon country with big races all over. So they have their entire life paddling big groups. These two Spanish good paddlers.
If you have a look, you look at McGregor, you look at Alonso. Alonso's in the yellow shirt, McGregor obviously in the green. See how relaxed they are compared to... Oh, we can't anymore. Never mind, eh? I'll tell you again later.
They're pretty relaxed, all of them now.
You look at the people just trying to cling on to the back of that group, and it's a very different story. Faria's back, Jacob Adams still impressing on the outside of that group. Second Hungarian there, outside Jacob Adam. On the far side, Mindy, he's made connection with the group again. McGregor and Boros seem destined to be at the same place in the group all the time. And Heilinger from Germany. We've never even talked about him pre-race, Stefan. He's done amazingly well to keep in touch with this group. Mike Leverett taking the strain in the background.
Oh, just 200 meters from the Portages, the speed increases.
It's going to start kicking off. It'll be the main protagonists. Immediately, Hank McGregor follows up Ramalho. Alonso moving out also. Looks like he's going to try and hold off McGregor. Burkett going hard now. Burkett's deciding to take this one.
Merchan going hard.
Merchan looking strong. Ramalho not so strong coming into this one. And Merchan's taking him in early onto the pontoon. which he won't enjoy, but they're both safe. Faria also beautifully out by Romalo, beautifully out by Adam also. McGregor again in a spot of bother, emptying his boat out. Very calm though, very, very calm from McGregor. Shoulder in his boat, out of sight, but his boat's on his shoulder, he's running well. And it's Romalo from, oh no, it's Merchant, from Alonso, from Romalo, from Burkitt, from Adam, Faria.
Boros.
McGregor a little way back, but looking very untroubled by that. Confident man at the moment, McGregor. Alonso and Merchant lead, so that we know the speed's not going to be high. Romalo could take it on at this stage, but it's early days. Boros is the one. He seems to want to break up the group maybe, or no, he just wanted to get to the front so that he could sit with Merchant. And the speed is low, coming out very low.
Very
Not just
low.
low, but very low coming out of that portage.
And the same, the group is together again, exactly the same paddles as before the portage. No decisive moves from anyone here. All made it safe and nice. Very neat.
Goes very slow for now, and then it will have to kick off because no one wants the worst of the washes. So at the moment it's 5 people in a straight line across the course behind the graphic on your screen. Now down to 4 people in a straight line. 3 now. Everyone's just waiting to see who the leader is before they take their pick of washes. McGregor forcing his way up into the contention. Romalo not wanting Burkitt to come round his outside. As we follow some of the tail enders through the portage. Still very tactical in that front group. There's going to be a lot of catching up still done there because it's virtually stopped. I love this sort of racing. There's so much going on out there. Romalo has been pushed to the front. I know he can take it on and I know he can take it on fast, but he's not doing that right at the moment.
It starts to show a very big difference. I mean, the first group is not very fast. They are actually paddling slow, but in spite of that, the gap to the second group increases. So it's definitely a big difference here.
Looking at the comments online, Ian Troutman, I'm not sure if he's in a relationship with Hank or what, but his comments are totally Hank biased. He says Hank's looking very confident, totally unfazed. He did look confident and unfazed, but so did a lot of the other athletes out there, Ian. I think there's everything to play for still. You may well be right, but early days yet.
All of them have great support, of course, from many, many friends all over the world in this
Pete Egan,
great
Eric
big
Verduct
group.
running through their portage towards the back of the field there. So we've done 2 portages from 7.
They have done about 11 kilometers now, a little bit more, 12 soon, at the upper turn. It's 12 kilometers down out of 29.8.
So now for the first time in that front 4, we've got Gabor Aranyossi from Hungary. It's Boros in the front V, looking good. Burkitt, second washout, along with Merchant. Faria, hanging in there still. Alonso on the far side with the orange paddle, also looking relaxed. But Jacob Adam, this is the best we've seen him for many years. Pete Egan, Eric Verduct front end of the race. Still a huge, huge group. Impressed by Heilinger of Germany still. He's still in there. Mindy from Norway, he's still in there. For now, Jacob Adam happy to take the lead. As Ukraine, Dmitry Hlotov. Comes through his second portage. So the rotation's starting to slow down just a little. Merchan on the far side. Burkitt this side with Romalo to his right. So 2 Hungarians, 2 Portuguese, 2 South Africans.